this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today what I thought we could do is make some pockets, which I saw on Wendy's Journal Adventure. So she used, I think it was a slightly different size envelope to this, but what you're going to need is a longish envelope. So sometimes they're called DL envelopes or, you know, legal size envelopes. My envelopes here are just over 8 inches by just over 4 inches. So you're going to need some envelopes like this. You can use junk mail envelopes. The only thing is, I mean, all of my junk mail envelopes, generally, they're torn down this side. So for me, I'm going to just use these new ones because I've got a load in my stash anyway. But if you want to use junk mail envelopes, you could do, and then you could just stitch around the edge. So I've got those, and then I've brought along a whole bunch of different papers to decorate up the, you know, the fronts of the envelopes. And then, of course, I've got a whole bunch of stuff all over my desk that we can actually kind of decorate and, you know, embellish the pockets. You're going to need your scissors and you're going to need some glue. You may need something to spread your glue or spread your paper. I'm just going to use my gift card there. And I think that's really it. You may or may not want to have a little circle punch to make like a thumb hole, but yeah, not, you know, not necessary. So these are like the world's easiest pockets and I just love them. So let's get making one. So I'm just going to glue the flap down. Like that. I mean, these honestly, you know, could not get any easier. They're just brilliant, which is obviously my kind of thing. So that's all you're going to do, and then you're just going to then chop your envelope. Now, depending on how big you want your pocket, so I made one of these at the weekend, and what I did was I chopped it down sort of much taller so that I had a tallish pocket. And then I kept this side or this section here, and I made something else with it later. So I'm going to just do that for a couple to just sort of demonstrate basically. And then I'm just going to literally keep this section for something else a bit later. I have not made a very good job of cutting. It's not very straight. And then all you're going to do is literally just take some pretty paper. You could use book page, you could use sheet music, you know, anything that you like that looks pretty, and you're just going to cover your pocket, and that's literally all there is to these. So I mean, seriously, these really could not be any easier. So of course you could obviously coffee dye your envelopes first so that you had you know, a nice kind of tone going on if you see any of your envelope. But I mean, it's not necessary, and you know, depending on how you do them, you may go right up to the edges, you may leave a little bit of a border. You know, I think both looks nice, and you know, no rules. So whatever you fancy doing at the time is more than fine. So I'm just going to take this paper here, and I'm going to cover, yeah, this side. So this paper here is my Paris bouquet. Or bouquet, my Paris bouquet background papers. They're quite new, I think about 2 weeks in my shop. So yeah, super pretty. They don't have an ephemera part or anything, but I think they tone really nicely with lots of my pieces that are in my shop already. You know, they go nicely with kind of, for instance, the labels, and they go nicely with you know, the Victorian ephemera and things like that. So yeah, I didn't really kind of feel it was necessary to make an ephemera kit with them, because I think they're, you know, they're pretty versatile and go with lots and lots of things already. And then obviously down the bottom, and that's literally it. That's your pocket. Top loading up there. Isn't that just the world's easiest pocket? But just awesome. I mean, I love simple, so this is just right up my street. You know, couldn't get any more my cup of tea, to be honest. So yeah, absolutely awesome pockets. So Wendy, if you ever do stumble across my video, thank you so much, because these are awesome. And I'm just going to trim this slightly because I didn't make a very good job of cutting it very straight. So just go back across there. Oops, still didn't make a very good job of that. Okay, so that looks a bit better. And as I say, up to you really. You could either do like a little thumb hole in the top. What I will probably do is do some with thumb holes, some without. Or, you know, you could make them all without, and, you know, like we always kind of say, I mean, I like to try and make mine plain as possible, so that when I come to use them, I then embellish them to match whatever I'm making. So that at that point I would decide, do I want a thumb hole, or would I prefer, for instance, to put, you know, lace across the top of the pocket? So, you know, up to you completely. So that's my first one. Oops, just put that to the side. So, I mean, obviously these are so simple, I really probably don't even need to show you a second one really, because they're, yeah, couldn't get any easier. But just, you know, just in case, I'll just do a little recap really. So we're just going to stick our flap down like that. And then literally stick the flap. And as I say, I mean, I made mine quite tall. You know, I made one at the weekend to try them out, and I've made one obviously now quite tall, but you don't have to. So you could just cut them kind of more in half like that, and then you've got kind of two smaller pockets. I mean, personally, I quite like this taller one. I think is quite nice, but completely up to you. But if you cut them tall ones and you've got the small slither, keep your slither, because we might do something with that maybe even next week. So yeah, keep your slithers handy. So I'm just going to kind of plow on and use obviously some more of this paper, because obviously I've now got the paper, you know, here. It just makes sense to obviously use some more of it. So just decide which way I want to do it. It's annoying because my printer didn't quite print borderless. Sometimes does better than others, and especially if the paper is a bit thick. This isn't thick, this is regular copy paper, but if the paper's at all thick, then generally, you know, the printer maybe doesn't like it, so it struggles a bit more to print borderless. So yeah. Okay, let's do the small one first. Okay. Let me just glue that paper on like that. Okay. I'll have this one like that, I think. So okay, spread that. And then just chop that down. And chop it down there. Just have to be a little bit careful that you don't cut into your envelope, which I was nearly doing just now. So yeah, just need to be a little bit careful of that. But that's your pocket. So really, really cute, aren't they? And as I say, I mean, you could make them with a border. You know, that would be lovely too. So for instance, this one, as you can see, it's slightly smaller than my envelope, slightly narrower. So what I'm going to do is just kind of fold it over here so as I know roughly where to cut that down. Oops. Okay, like that. Cut across. Okay. Oops. Cut that down here. And then hopefully, you know, I've got a border now going right the way around my envelope, which, you know, I think looks quite pretty. Just going to check I want it that way round and not this way. Oh yeah, definitely, because otherwise I would have a sideways on building. Okie dokie. So just glue this one these may well become my new favourite pocket, to be honest, because for me, just, you know, nothing's better than a super simple thing to do, super simple thing to do. So yeah, these may well become my new favourite pocket. Okay, and just then glue that down like that. Okay, so just to kind of show you a comparison, one with the border and one without. I mean, I think they're both super cute, and yeah, I'm not sure which I prefer actually, but you know, so if your paper doesn't quite fit, you can always do it with a border around. So that's those, right? I should put these in my scraps bin because waste not, want not, even though they're titchy pieces. Let's not throw them away. So I'll stop talking you through them now because of course, you know, they're not really very difficult or anything. And we can just kind of relax down, have a nice time crafting along and just making some of these awesome pockets. So I hope everyone's doing well. Just want to say thank you so much to all those people who watched along with my massively long video that I uploaded on Sunday, doing the mixed media canvas. Actually, and sorry, just going back to this, I'm going to just sort of do them in an assembly line style, whereby I'm going to glue all my envelopes first and then cut them, then cover them and things. So I'm doing all the same stages at the same time. Yeah, thank you so much to everybody who followed or, you know, watched my video. I know it was super long. I mean, it was really one of those things that obviously I hadn't really anticipated it taking as long as it did to make the canvas. And then once it did, I obviously edited the video, but it was very hard to cut things out without then there being gaping great big holes in the process, I guess. So, you know, short of kind of speeding it up, which I know that I did mention, you know, I can see why obviously mixed media canvas videos are often sped up because of course they take such a long time to do, which, you know, that's fine. But I didn't really want to kind of have some sped up and some not, because I felt like then they'd be missing chunks and people might be wondering, well, what did I do there? Or, you know, so yeah, I left it pretty much in its entirety. I just took one or two bits out where I was, you know, maybe deliberating for an exceptionally long time about what to use where or something like that. But pretty much the whole video went up. So yeah, thank you so much to those lovely people who did watch it. And thank you so much. Oh, that one's glued down already. Maybe I'd already glued back something else. And thank you so much to all those lovely people who have purchased the Candied Christmas kit. So I hope that you really enjoy using it and have a lot of fun using it. You know, I did have a lot of fun making it. Like I said, I did struggle quite a lot to come up with something different every time I went to try and, you know, create the Christmas kit. I automatically went for the greens and reds, and yeah, so it took me actually many days to make that kit. So it didn't kind of come naturally for a long time, and then just suddenly it all started to come together and it kind of flowed okay then. But yeah, I really did struggle for the longest time, I have to say. But yeah, so thank you so much to all those lovely people who've you know, purchased it, and I hope that you have a good time using it. So thank you. Okay, I can't believe we're only a few weeks now until Christmas. I mean, this year has been so strange and bizarre. I know I talk about this nearly every single week, but I mean, honestly, the time has gone so quickly. And to think now that we're literally, Christmas is kind of coming, you know, through fast. It's just the most odd thing, because of course, you know, half the year feels like it's just been a bit of a blur, really, every day just merging into one, which I suppose it has. Yeah, it just seems very weird. And the latest here, over here in, well, England, not really the UK, but England certainly, is it was announced on Saturday that as of Thursday, we will be going back into a lockdown of sorts. So it's not going to be the same as the lockdown previously, in that, well, a few differences, I guess. So if you are able to work, able to work from home, obviously work from home. If you're not able to work from home, you can go to work. Children will still be going to school, which of course, obviously previously in the lockdown, the schools were closed. So the main changes, i.e. that's going to make it a lockdown, I suppose, are that all hospitality kind of places will be closed. So restaurants, I assume gyms, things like that. I mean, I don't know how many kind of theatres and things had really reopened in the first place, but I guess they will all close. What else will close? Well, pubs. Yeah, I mean, anywhere where I guess people are going to gather, really. So any restaurants that serve takeaways, they can still stay open for takeaways only, not for sit-down eating. I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah. Oh, and all retail will be closed unless you are selling essentials. And by that, they mean, obviously, food and, you know, things like that, really. So, yeah, it's a little bit different, obviously, to the previous lockdown. But, you know, it is a lockdown nonetheless. Yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how it pans out. You know, well, I mean, I guess there was no choice, really, because, you know, the numbers have been climbing. And I guess, really, it's all about, you know, preserving the hospitals, isn't it? And ensuring that the hospitals do not get, you know, overrun where they cannot cope, obviously, with the numbers. So, yeah, we're going to have to kind of see what happens, really. But just going to cut this down so that I've got a smaller piece, I think. So yes, that's what's happening from Thursday. And, I mean, you know, this just sounds a terrible thing to say, but I mean, obviously, you know, from my point of view, I'm kind of relieved that the schools are still going to be going in. I mean, I hope that that's going to be the right call. I mean, I can't help but wonder, you know, our numbers seem to have increased so much, obviously, since the schools have gone back. That seems to be where the numbers have gone up. Or since then, that's what's made the numbers go up. But on the plus side, obviously, you know, and I'm sure anyone who's working from home probably gets where I'm coming from with this. You know, much as it's lovely to have the children home, I mean, obviously, you just struggle to get anything done. I mean, last week was obviously half term, and I think I only filmed 2 videos in the whole week, which luckily I do film ahead, you know. So I did have quite a lot of videos already, you know, already filmed and things. But that said, obviously, you know, if you had a couple of weeks like that, you'd soon find that then you have no videos. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those people who would then, you know, start feeling a little bit panicky that I didn't really have enough videos kind of ready filmed and things like that, because, well, just because I'm probably one of those worriers. You know, someone who worries about things like that. So, yeah, for me, I'm kind of relieved that the schools are still going to be going from a selfish point of view, because obviously it means that, you know, I can continue kind of working, you know, in a calm fashion rather than kind of, oops, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and everything just really in chaos. I'm also really pleased, certainly, I mean, for my daughter, she loves school. And so for her, you know, that's just horrible when she's not at school, because of course she's bored stiff, and, you know, she loves seeing her friends and, you know, being with everybody and all of the social interaction. You know, she thoroughly enjoys that. And my son, you know, who's 14, not so much. he would happily be in lockdown, not having to go to school. But I mean that, you know, I mean, of course he's a teenager, so that's, I guess, par for the course really. These papers, by the way, are my Covent Garden papers, just because I know that I've talked before that, you know, I then get emails asking which papers I was using, so I'm just kind of letting people know which papers that they are. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at from Thursday. We'll have to kind of wait and see and hope for the best, obviously, that it's, you know, that it will all be good after that. So we'll see. So that's for a month. I don't think I said that. That's until I think it's the 2nd of December. By which time, obviously, you know, Christmas will be kind of right on top of us, and yeah, it will then be a kind of mad rush to do Christmas shopping and things like that. I mean, I'm a bit of a last minute Christmas shopper anyway, so that's not going to affect me, because that's how I normally roll at Christmas anyway. And to be fair, the actual lockdown itself, due to the fact that the schools will still continue, I mean, actually my life, you know, I just said to, I know that I was chatting to Joanne from Junk Journal Treasures, and, you know, I just kind of said to her, I mean, to be honest, during the week, I don't really necessarily go out that much anyway, because normally I'm busy doing videos, and, yeah, I don't necessarily kind of go out that much anyway. So, I mean, from a kind of point of view of during the week, it's not necessarily going to really affect me a great deal, you know, other than going to the school, or, you know, maybe pop into the supermarket to, you know, get the odd thing that I might have forgotten with the weekly shop, or suddenly someone's eaten it and you need another one. You know, I don't necessarily kind of do a great deal anyway. I mean, for me, probably the biggest impact, or the biggest thing is going to be that, of course, actually I might have the blue side there. Yeah, I might have the blue. For me, oops, didn't print off borderless down the bottom now. For me, the biggest thing probably is, you know, I won't be able to see my parents. So there will still be a thing where I think you'll be able to meet with one person at a time outside of your house. Or, you know, not outside of your house, but outside, in the outdoors. So, I mean, of course, I could see them individually, I guess, and, you know, meet up with them somewhere outside, you know, one of them at a time. Yeah, I don't know really whether we will do that. They, you know, they tend to kind of do everything together, so I don't think really that, you know, they would be anywhere on their own kind of in the first place. So probably just have to go back to FaceTime and, you know, do our sort of chatting through FaceTime. I mean, I often go and see them kind of on Tuesdays. It normally works out about every other week that I go and see them on a Tuesday. So I will, of course, go down and see them tomorrow. I'm just going to adjust my camera because that's probably better. So I will go and see them tomorrow, i.e. today, and this video goes up for you guys because I'm filming this on the Monday before it goes up on the Tuesday. Yeah, so I will go and see them, and that will probably be the last time that I will see them then, until, well, I guess much further into, well, I guess probably until December, you know, actually. So yeah, that will be kind of the main, you know, the main difference for me. You know, not sort of seeing my parents really, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. And like we say, you know, you've got to obviously do what you've got to do, haven't you? And, you know, try and hopefully keep people safe and, you know, protect kind of lives and what have you. So, I mean, it's, yeah, just one of those situations that, you know, nobody could have, I guess, foreseen at the beginning of the year. Who could have predicted that we would be here? But, you know, I mean, I consider myself so super lucky. I mean, I'm able to obviously, you know, work from home. I'm doing a job that I absolutely love now. And yeah, so, I mean, you know, from my point of view, I kind of think, well, I'm so lucky. my husband also, you know, luckily he's also able to work from home. So, you know, he's been working from home kind of throughout because, of course, you know, he works in an office and they don't, you know, they haven't really recommended kind of office workers going back. There was a very short window where they kind of suggested people went back into the office, but I certainly, you know, his office wasn't particularly encouraging it. And I don't think many staff actually even went into the office. In fact, if any, you know, and to be honest, really, they don't probably need to, because honestly, they can do everything that they can do in the office. They can do from home on their, you know, laptops, phones, you know, their, I don't know, conference calls and things like that. So, you know, we are very, 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 very lucky. So, yeah. I mean, again, I worry for obviously those people who live alone and, you know, this may be very isolating for them. I know that they're kind of doing it where, you know, if you live alone, obviously the fact that you can see one person now outside is obviously going to be an improvement on last time. I think carers and things like that, you know, if you're a carer for somebody, that will be exempt from the rules, I think. So, I mean, hopefully it's not going to be quite so isolating for anyone who's actually on their own, as it was kind of back in March. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's a bit of a drab conversation, but I really hope that everybody is staying safe and well wherever you are around the world. So, and thank goodness we have our lovely crafting community to keep us all busy and distract us from the, you know, the not such great things that are going on. So, okay. Oh, and these are my curators collection for the ornithology, entomology and the botanical papers. That's what papers these are. So just in case you were kind of wondering about those. So again, just wondering which way to put these. So I might put them slightly more over. Try not to kind of get the butterflies in, I think. Yeah, I think probably that's the way to go. Yeah, so that's that. So on a more positive note, I am trying to launch a Facebook group. Now, I am really shocking. I don't go on Facebook really. You know, I used to go on it kind of years ago. Then I stopped going on it, and you know, I thought it was quite bad for your mental health, and you know, zapped up a lot of time and things like that. So I kind of, you know, I haven't really used Facebook for a long time now. But I have now joined Facebook under my name of Shabbydabbydoodah. So if you search Facebook for Shabbydabbydoodah, I should now come up as a user, as a member. And I have created a group, again, also called Shabbydabbydoodah. Well, it's Shabbydabbydoodah Junk Journal group. So I'm hoping, I mean, I belong to Junk Journal Junkies, which is an awesome group, and it's got thousands and thousands of members. Now, I have to say, again, because I never really go on Facebook, you know, I don't sort of post in that group or anything like that, you know, sadly, because I know that sometimes I get, and I couldn't really say where these notifications come from, actually, but occasionally I seem to see things saying Junk Journal Junkies, unless that's on Pinterest. I'm not sure, to be honest, but, and people put the most amazingly lovely things on there. So this is not meant as a replacement for that group or anything else, you know, and I know that there's loads of other junk journal groups, which was why I kind of really was shying away from creating a group at all, because I just thought, well, there's lots of groups on there, you know, I don't think anybody really needs to, you know, have yet another group. Oh, I also brought along some napkin to cover some of these, so let's just put in some of the napkin, which I thought would make beautiful pockets too. yeah, so this is not meant to be, you know, I'm not in competition with any of those groups or anything like that. I merely have created it because I know that lots of ladies have asked me, do I have a Facebook group? Or have said things, you know, along the lines of, oh, what a shame you don't have a Facebook group, because that would be an ideal place to share my project with you. I know that kind of if people have bought, say, a kit of mine and they would like to show me photos, the only way really to get in touch reliably is via my Etsy shop, via my email, because my other email, you know, it's very hit and miss. Things go into bulk and get missed and things like that. So yeah, I thought, well, perhaps it's time to bite the bullet. So I have created that group. Again, because I don't really use Facebook or anything, I mean, I'm very shockingly bad with technology and things like that. I don't really know what the capabilities are of the group and things like that. So I'm sure lots of you know a lot more about it all than I do, but hopefully we'll just learn together. You will have to answer a question just saying why you would like to belong to the group, because I guess, you know, otherwise anybody could join it. I mean, hopefully it's really just going to be for junk journal related crafts. So, you know, hopefully all discussions, posts, photos and what have you will all stay on topic with that and won't be therefore, I don't know, you know, straying off topic. So yeah, but you will have to quickly just answer that question, and literally, I mean, you can just say in a couple of words why you would like to be part of that group. And then that looks pretty, doesn't it, with the napkin? And then obviously, again, I'm not 100% certain, but I think probably I will have to say, you know, yes, you can join. I assume I will be notified if you've filled that out, or, you know, if you've answered that question. So that's, I think, how it's going to work. As I say, it's called Shabbydabbydoodah Junk Journal Group. My name on there is Shabbydabbydoodah. You should see my little logo thing. So hopefully it will all kind of make sense. And as a welcome gift, I will show you in a second what I will do. So for those people who join the group, there is just one freebie page of a collage page up there on the junk journal group as a little kind of welcome gift, I guess. But yeah, I really would love it if you would join the group, and I would love to see, you know, posts and shares and photos and what have you. Of course, they don't have to be photographs, just using my kits and things like that. You know, so just in case that was misinterpreted from what I said, it's just ladies have obviously said, oh, I would love to show you what I made with your kit. But of course, you know, it's not only for things made using my kits or anything, you know, it's just junk journals generally. So yeah, hopefully, you know, we will all have a nice time. And, you know, hopefully it will be an extension of our YouTube community that we've got going on here, where we can all just share lovely tips and crafts and what we're up to and, you know, things like that. So let me show you. This is the collage page, which will be on there. Well, it is on there now, as a freebie gift. So there is a picture of this, but below the picture of it is the clickable download. Now, I don't know how that works when more people join the group. Yeah, I don't know whether that post will keep moving to the top, how you will find it. But I guess if you click on Shabbydabbydoodah posts, you would be able to find it that way. But yes, so this is a, you know, just a welcome gift really. So whilst we're on the subject of this, we might as well do a pocket, I guess, using this. So let's just take a section. I mean, to be honest, we could even have it sideways on, but I think I'll do it this way. I love those postage stamps, so I definitely want to have those in there. Okay, let's just cut it down here. Yeah, so that's also been zapping up quite a bit of my time, is obviously kind of trying to work out how those types of things work. So as I say, very much learning. This is not my kind of area. The whole, you know, as you know, I'm shockingly bad with anything like Instagram or anything like those things. My email, absolutely shocking. So, you know, it's all a bit of a learning curve for myself. And also, if you try to join the group and then it's asked the question and you, I assume, put in your answer and possibly I have to approve it, I'm not sure. I don't know quite what the process is for that. So please be assured I will be getting around to it. But obviously, if I'm inundated with people joining the group, which, you know, I hope that I will be, and that would be wonderful, then obviously it may take a few days to get round to kind of approving everybody's, I don't know, not really application, but their request to join. So just sort of be patient and bear with me if that's okay, please, because honestly, I'm just shockingly slow and rubbish and bad with things like that. So yes, please don't think, you know, I'm ignoring you or anything like that. I'm just really, really, really rubbish when it comes to technology, emails or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of exciting news. And obviously also you will get the little freebie, which hopefully you'll all download and, you know, hopefully have a nice time using. So just drop that across there. Now, how long have I been filming for? Let me just glance up at my camera. Hold on. Oops. Oh, 36 minutes. Okay, so I've probably got time to do one more, you know, cover one more. So we'll just use again that collage page. So perhaps, and actually, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't have this as a sideways pocket. So perhaps we could even get a couple out of here. Oh no, I don't think we can. Oh, we can if we do them top loading. So perhaps we'll just do them like that. Yeah, okay. So I'll just drop that down here. Oh, and thank you so much to those lovely people who asked if we had a nice time at our Halloween disco on Saturday. So, I mean, I'm using that term very loosely, I have to say. Yes, we had a lovely time. I mean, obviously my daughter thoroughly enjoyed herself. I think I said on the, you know, the mixed media canvas video, but we were inviting her little cousin who's just a year older, and yeah, so he and her had a lovely time and, you know, wore their costumes. We all wore costumes, you know, I wore my little witch type costume, and yeah, we all just had a nice time, had, you know, party food. And I mean, you know what kids are like. It kind of started out as a disco and then it, you know, changed into I had to keep playing dead as a zombie. And yeah, it kind of, it moved on really from how I expected the evening to go, but they obviously had a great time and thought it was hilarious and very fun. So yeah, it was nice. And then yesterday it was another horrible drab foul weather day, but we did manage to do a lovely walk. So well, yeah, a nice walk locally, but one that we haven't done for a long time. So that was nice. And we literally just timed it right. As we kind of got back to the car, it was starting to pour down with rain. And literally within like 10 minutes of being in the car, the heavens opened and it poured. But it was such a relief to get some fresh air, because obviously on Saturday, the weather had been, you know, diabolical all day. And we really had no fresh air at all in the whole day. So, yeah, it was just good to actually get out and, you know, have a bit of fresh air. Okay, pop that one on there. So I haven't accumulated too many scraps from this one, which is great. Okie dokie. Well, yesterday watched after our walk, came back and watched that film Rebecca, from the, you know, Daphne, oh, what's her name? Well, now I'm embarrassed to say it in case I don't pronounce it right, but you know the one I mean, Daphne de Mornay, I think is how you pronounce it, from her book. I think it is a Netflix film, and it had Lily James in it. I mean, she's so gorgeous, isn't she? So, yeah, it was quite a good film. It was a 12, but not particularly great for younger ones. So my daughter, luckily, she was kind of amusing herself doing other things and then just hid her eyes a few times. She was in and out of the kitchen and, you know, things like that. So, because it was just like the, you know, late afternoon when we watched it. So, yeah, but it was a good film. Right, that's probably it. So let's pull in the ones that we've done. Have a bit of a count up. I think we've done quite well, hopefully, this week. Let's have a look. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So, I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? And then I've got 3 left, so I can obviously do these a bit later. So let's just quickly decorate one up. So we might even be able to decorate 2 up, but we'll see how we get on. So these are from the freebie collage page. So I just thought I would kind of use these, obviously, because, you know, hopefully, well, I was going to say they're, you know, you're all going to be able to access them, but I guess that depends if you all join the group, really. But yeah, hopefully lots of people will join the group, and you know, so then we'll all have similar papers that we could use, you know, if you wanted to recreate something similar. So I'll just get my ephemera box. So I'm just thinking I could have a little label down there. And obviously I've got this pink lace that just happened to be laying around on my desk anyway. So let's just see. Got some doily here. I'm not sure whether it's quite the right colour or not. Let's just have a look. It's obviously from the food coloured bits that I did, but some is more coloured than others. So, oh, and I forgot to just tell you. So this morning, I mean, honestly, my husband and I, we are like the world's most rubbish people when it comes to, you know, like I say, emails and all of those kinds of things. So, you know, got my daughter up, obviously, got her ready for school. Well, I mean, she's very independent and she dresses herself and obviously gets herself ready and things. Yep. Then my husband was taking her to school and I was, you know, replying to emails and things like that. And suddenly there was a ring on the doorbell in a sort of fun way, you know, that my daughter likes to ring, where she just leaves her finger on it for ages. And I thought, well, that's strange. Who could that be at this time in the morning? Lo and behold, it was my daughter back with my husband. Yep, it was an inset day at the school. So, yes, we had not realised that. Honestly, I mean, we are just like absolutely rubbish when it comes to things like that. I mean, hopefully nobody actually saw us. You know, who knows us? Because, yeah, how embarrassing. But I mean, really, we should learn our lesson and kind of check emails and things like that a bit more thoroughly. But we're just rubbish, to be honest. Absolutely rubbish. So, yep, she was back. So she ran upstairs, took her uniform off and put her casual dress on. And, yep, came back down. And unfortunately, I just had to say to her, look, I'm really sorry. You know, I know you're on inset day, but we didn't realise that. And, you know, Mummy's got to work today, I'm afraid. So, you know, you're going to have to just amuse yourself on your tablet most of the time. So, you know, not that she was bothered, because obviously, like most children these days, she obviously loves going on her tablet. So, yeah, she's downstairs at the moment with my husband. You know, he's obviously on his laptop, but she's downstairs on her tablet. So, but I thought, oh my gosh, we are so rubbish, honestly. And we never learn. You know, we do things like that so often. Well, I mean, not quite like that. Not obviously with the inset day, because it's not like they have inset days all the time. But yeah, I mean, if they did have inset days, no doubt we'd be doing it all the time. Just absolutely rubbish. I wonder if anybody else did that. Certainly they didn't see anybody else. It seemed like it was just us. Okay, so we've just got a label on there. Then we'll just have this little butterfly kind of to the side, I think. Okie dokie. Okay, right, press that down, and then I'm just going to pop that lace down just across the top, like that. Okie dokie. Oops. Must have dried up a little bit. Okay, hold on. Oh, that sounds more like it. Okay. Pop this on. Just chop that off there. And then, oh no, I thought that might have looked quite pretty, but no, definitely no, no, totally the wrong colour. That one's quite pretty. Yeah, I might just have that on there. There we go. And then I'll just get, I know that I've got some small pearls, I think like pinky ones, that I might be able to put as a little centre for that flower. Of course, now I'm not going to be able to find them. They're in my little organiser. But I've moved my tripod thing now, and it was hanging on the back of my desk, and then it seemed to have gone wobbly and didn't really seem to like going back there. So I've moved it, and it's now to the side, which doesn't make it quite so easy to get to my little organiser. I mean, it's not terrible, but obviously I'm even more likely to bang into it now. Oh, I can't now find any. Oh well. Got some of that pearly trim, so let's just bring that in. Can have just a bit of pearly trim or something. Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to cut one of those pearlies off and have that as the flower centre. Okay. Like that. Okay, so that's the first one. Looks pretty, doesn't it? And then this one here, let's just see what we can do with this one. Again, just rummaging through my little, I mean, again, a label would look quite good there. I don't want to be really boring, but the labels do look good. Just wondering, actually, perhaps a dictionary definition or something might just, oh, I have got those little houses. Oh, that's kind of cute on there, isn't it? I know it's kind of dwarfed by the flower that's next to it. Let me just have a look, because those were where I shrunk them down and printed 2 to a page, and I've got some, I think, the original size, which of course are much bigger, which then might not look quite so strange, obviously, beside that flower. Oops, let me just grab this one. Oh no, it's huge on there. Well, it is huge, but it looks kind of sweet, actually. Perhaps have it that side. And then have I got some flowers? Got these ones. Yeah, that's quite nice, I think. I'm not even sure if it needs the flower, to be honest, but let's just check whether I want anything else on there. Oh, I've got some more shrunk down pieces in here after all, actually, so let's just have a look, because a mix of full size and shrunk down might be quite good. Oh, got a little sheep there from the shrunk down ones. He's kind of cute, isn't he? But a bit weird, probably, putting him on there. And these are my glue book favourites 5. So, yeah. Let's just have a look. There's a windmill, so it's a bit tall for on there. Would have looked okay on the other one, actually, but obviously I've put that label on there now and things, but yeah, it would have looked quite nice. Got this, do something you love every day. Oh. It's probably a bit strange, isn't it, to be honest? Let's just try a little flower. There we go, that looks quite pretty. Okay, right, I'm just going to ink around that house. Okay. I mean, just by inking around that house, it just makes it stand out so much more, doesn't it? Just ink around the flower. It's a lovely day out there today. It's really sunny and bright. Whether or not it will stay lovely, who knows, but certainly at the moment it looks really nice. Not sure about that. No, I don't think I want that. Okay, let's get rid of these bits. Maybe we'll pop something like a word. Right, let me get rid of this ephemera box off of the desk. Just comes to the point where it's in the way because it was quite big. Let's just have a look. Journey. Well, that's quite apt, I suppose, isn't it? That little house, it looks a bit like sort of Red Riding Hood's house, doesn't it? Not her house, but, you know, the one that her nan was in, that the big bad wolf went and broke into. Well, he didn't really break in, but, you know, made his way in. By means of deception, I guess, really. Oh, that's quite pretty. I quite like it like that, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to, I think, stick the lace down first. Okay. So pop that lace down there and just trim that off. And then just pop the house down like that. And again, what I'm going to do is kind of hot glue the house, but hopefully try not to press it too much so it stays quite lumpy. So Okay. Like that. So it's sort of staying a little bit, not really 3D, but 3D-ish, I suppose. And then just have Journey, just kind of in the corner there. And then probably just the finishing touch would be a little Martha Stewart butterfly, I think. Let's have a look. That's quite a good colour, I think. So, okay. Just ink him up a bit so as he stands out. Oops, and pop that there. And the butterfly, well, we might be able to have a couple of butterflies, maybe that one over there. It looks gorgeous against the pink, doesn't it? So again, I'm just going to kind of, you know, have a bit of a 3D thing going on now with this piece. Okay, and then the butterfly, I think we'll just 3-in-1 that, or Fabri-Tac, I think this is. So we just pop some down there. Actually, I preferred that way, I think. Sure, it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but yep. And then I wonder if we need a little bit of pearl trim there. I mean, these butterflies, I know I've said this before, but for anyone who hasn't seen this punch, the punch itself punches out like 1 large and 2 small butterflies each time. I don't very often layer them up with the small ones because they're so tiny. I find them pretty fiddly, but they are very pretty when they're layered. So let's just layer that one. I'll just use my normal glue. Okay. There we go. And then I wonder if we could have another butterfly down here somewhere. So just ink that. Yeah, that's quite pretty down there. Now, do we need a little centre butterfly for that as well? This is where I discover I don't have any more of those pink ones in the tiny size. Oh, would you believe that? Oh, look, here's some more. There's some more. See, so I have loads of the tiny ones dropped to the bottom of that jar because I don't very often use the tiny ones. So, yeah, lots and lots of those. Yeah, that just finishes that off really pretty, doesn't it? So let's glue this one down. And then the teeny weeny one in the centre. Okay. Just like that. Put the trim away because I'm not using that now. Okay, so that's that one. So I'm just going to pull in a journal page to show you how that would look. So let me just pop these butterflies all away before I end up with them just literally spilt all over everywhere. See, I'm trying to be a bit tidier and kind of stay on top of my mess as I go. This does not really come naturally to me when it comes to my craft area, but I think that's the only way to kind of try and stay on top of it. Okay, so this is my journal that I'm currently working on. So let me try and find a couple of sort of blankish pages. So that's that little pocket there. And you've got your top loading pocket in here. Super cute, isn't it? And then this is the taller one like that. Oops, like that. And again, it's a top loading pocket up here. And this one, obviously, it's plenty big enough. You could glue it on 3 sides. So you'd have your top loading pocket here and then a side loading pocket in the side. So yeah, they're really super cute pockets. And like I say, I mean, so simple, you know, they're just amazingly, you know, quick to make. So yeah, obviously I love making such quick, simple pockets and things like that. So I hope that you're feeling inspired. Hope you managed to make some along with me. And like I say, they're not my idea or anything. So I will try and remember to link Wendy's original video below. But yeah, I hope that you have fun making them. And thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully see you guys again soon. I will try and remember also to put the link to my new Facebook group, but I'm not sure how to do that link. But I will try. So thank you so much and see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.